What is up, Light Fam? It is David, your spiritual awakening coach, here to help you through your spiritual awakening. I know a lot of you guys out there are going through spiritual awakening loneliness. It is a thing, and I wanted to make a video on why the spiritual path is lonely for a minute so that you can get through that spiritual awakening loneliness with much more grace and ease. So let's dive into the 3 reasons the spiritual path is lonely right now. Like out. 3 reasons the spiritual path is lonely. Number 1, so that you're not distracted by what no longer serves, so that you can attract what does serve. So if you are now out of alignment with that old identity, that old life, the people, places, and things that shaped that old life, but you're still intermingling with those people, places, and things, you're keeping that old life alive in your current timeline. This is because energy flows where attention goes. It's the law. So if you're not in that spiritual solitude for a minute, you're not in spiritual awakening loneliness for a minute, you're out strengthening that old frequency, which is keeping that old life alive in your current timeline. So you got to go into some spiritual solitude, go within, go into hermit mode. If you guys are getting your tarot readings and you keep getting that hermit card, yeah, that's your sign. You need to do some introspection, pull your energy back to you, go into a little bit of spiritual solitude, go into hermit mode, some self-discovery, so that you can find what resonates with the new identity. What action steps can we take in alignment with the new identity that you're trying to get to if that old life no longer resonates? You got to stop giving attention to the old life. And this is why the spiritual path is lonely for a minute. And I say for a minute until you find that new identity. 3 reasons the spiritual path is lonely. Number 2, so that you have ample time to detach from the old identity, so that that old identity, old life falls off of your current timeline with more grace. So the more time that you spend in spiritual solitude, in spiritual awakening loneliness, the less energy is directed towards that old life. Less focus, less energy, it starts to die. So the more time that you spend doing this shadow work, healing the trauma that needed validation from that old life, healing the trauma that used to initiate abusive relationships, disempowering relationships, healing the trauma that would people please and chase validation. Stop doing that. Once those things are no longer a part of your daily habit, they fall off of your timeline with much more grace and ease. And the more time that you spend doing this self-discovery in hermit mode, in spiritual awakening loneliness, the more energy goes to the new identity. Why? Because you're focused on it. And you focus on it naturally because the more that you heal that unhealed trauma, the more of the authentic you wants to express itself. And then you start focusing on that version of yourself, which is actually the new identity. And now that old timeline falls off because it has no focus. Now, before we get on to the 3rd reason the spiritual path is lonely, if you're finding value in the content, please click the subscribe button. Every time you click subscribe, you will be paying for those much needed dance lessons so that I don't look like a duck with 2 left feet. Now back to the video. 3 reasons the spiritual path is lonely. Number 3, to provide a clean space for that new identity without that frequency getting muddied up by the old identity. Opposing frequencies can't share the same space. So if you're not in spiritual awakening loneliness or spiritual solitude, and that old life is still muddying up your frequency with low vibe, because remember, the new life is on a higher vibration. So if you are still trauma bonding, low vibe, people pleasing, low vibe, chasing validation, low vibe, being disingenuous, low vibe, being emotionally manipulative, low vibe, being passive aggressive, low vibe, all of those things are hogging up the energetic space so that the new higher frequency cannot come into your current time frame, because that's not a vibrational match. So you've got to be in that spiritual awakening loneliness, that spiritual solitude, to provide a clean space where you're not doing all that low vibrational stuff of the old life, so that the higher vibrational stuff of the new life has space to come into your timeline. I hope this has helped. I love you guys. Namaste.